If you guys have been fans of Call of Duty for a very long time now, you would know that we are entering the traditional Call of Duty reveal season. April into May is always when we get our first teasers for a new Call of Duty, our first official reveal, gameplay trailer, all of the good stuff. Besides for Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard, this is the time in which we see our first look at the Call of Duty. So we're going to go through MW2 finally being revealed very soon, gameplay reveals, teasers, the schedule for the marketing, all of the good stuff. Be sure to like the video, drop a sub if you're new, and if you're ever interested in buying a PC, check out my partner Apex Gaming PCs. Link is down below, and if you do end up purchasing one, be sure to use my code matters for up to $250 off your entire purchase. So let's go through here the new information. This is what credible leaker Ralph said over on Twitter very recently. He said this: April 30th, 20 days, 16 minutes, 20 seconds. Now, this was posted about 2 days ago, so we're now down to about 18 days left here, but this is very interesting. Of course, he is a MW2 leaker. He is referring to MW2, but what exactly does this mean? He goes on to say, let me preface this by saying the reveal is still set for May. So this is what we're looking to see right now. We are most likely getting our first look at MW2 at the end of April, April 30th, which is very on schedule with what we saw with previous Call of Duties. Of course, it's super early compared to Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard, but we are in a unique situation now where Vanguard is not performing well. Right now, even Warzone is fairly dry. Most people are not enjoying Caldera, so they want to ramp up this MW2 marketing and get this game to us as soon as possible. So an early reveal makes sense. Now, compared to the classic COD reveals, this is actually a somewhat late teaser or late first look at the game. If you look back at Black Ops 2, other Modern Warfares in the past, they were always all revealed in the early spring, early April, even late March. Now, for Modern Warfare 2019, if you guys remember that reveal season, I was making videos back then, of course, and we were all concerned about Modern Warfare having a late reveal. There were pretty much no teasers whatsoever for that game in April of 2019, in the entirety of May as well, and we finally got that first look, the story trailer for that game on May 30th, 2019. So for back then, that was considered a late reveal. Of course, now that's super early, but it definitely puts everything into perspective and really shows us that this is a good time to see new Call of Duties revealed, to see our first looks, and for April 30th to be the first teaser or first look at the game, and then for the full gameplay reveal to be at the end of May. I am perfectly fine with that here. Now, this also kind of lines up with what we saw before. Unfortunately, we were apparently going to get an earlier reveal or look at this game. The MW2 Ghost said this back in January, was told that we should see our first teases of MW2 in the next 8 weeks. Now, the Ghost of Hope updated us and said 8 weeks from this tweet is coming up, and that was actually around the last week of March, I think March 22nd to be exact, when we were supposed to see our first teases of this game. Now, of course, we didn't see that happen. That was only about 2 weeks ago, so we could still see some teases for this game very soon. Ralph is mentioning April 30th. I still feel like we could see some very minor teases of this game before April 30th. I'm assuming that maybe April 30th will be a mini teaser trailer, a mini form of marketing, but still substantial enough to get people hyped. And maybe throughout this April, this week, next week, the week after, we'll get mini things on their Twitter, maybe a little image, a quote, just very minor stuff to get us ready. And then April 30th, we get our first little tease. We're in the MW2 marketing season officially, and then the hype really builds for the full gameplay reveal at the end of May, and that's when we'll get the game announcement, all different things, the box art, pre-order, all that stuff that they normally do when a COD is first announced. Again, maybe there's going to be some type of in-game Warzone event. I'm assuming they would do that. Maybe the Warzone event will still be in the summer. That's a whole nother topic for a different video, but for sure, they want to get this game to us early. I mean, at least in terms of the reveal. I think the release might be early as well, as we talked about, but at least in terms of the reveal, they want people thinking about MW2. They want people ready to play this game. They want people talking about it because they know it's going to be a huge deal for them. Modern Warfare 2019 was the best-selling Call of Duty of all time. They want to replicate that success for MW2 100%. So they're going to do whatever they can to market this game, to hype this game up to its full potential. So I'm assuming the teasers, the gameplay reveals, the trailers will all be super extravagant and really, really good. So I'm hyped. Again, you have to be cautiously optimistic. I'm not going to say, it's going to be the best game ever. Of course, we don't know for sure what the actual game is like, but I am fairly confident they're going to make a pretty solid game here. They know the stakes are high, so they're probably putting a bunch of effort here, and it should end up being pretty good. But again, we'll see very soon. Now for some more stuff here on Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer in general. Let's go through some stuff we want to see. The Ghost of Hope said this, still not sold on MW2 as a whole yet. Has a lot of potential though, and the marketing will obviously be hype. Gonna want to play it before making a decision one way or another. So very true stuff there. You can't really make your full decision, your final judgment on if the game is good until we fully play it. We use all the features, we play the final product, so that's not going to be till the game fully comes out. But of course, the marketing, the beta will give us some decent first impressions, and it'll give us an idea kind of as to what that game is about. Now he also goes through here some stuff he wants to see for this year's multiplayer. My checklist for MW2: classic minimap, very important there. That's most likely going to happen. Good bearable spawns, that's important as well. Ghost only working when moving, quieter footstep audio, and ninja as a perk. Slower time to kill than Modern Warfare, also very important. I mean, I like IW's slightly faster TTK, but MW was a bit too fast and a bit slower. Not as slow as Treyarch, but a bit slower would be nice to see. Good maps, obviously, great point there. We want to see good solid maps, not just all 3 lane maps, but a good variety of maps that are actually playable and fun. Good mastery camos, very important as well. Treyarch really does a great job with their mastery camos, at least in recent years. Obviously, with Vanguard not doing too well. Modern Warfare 2019, it was okay. I mean, Damascus was okay, but definitely not my favorite. Combat pacing, I think, of Vanguard's best feature, honestly. Combat pacing is super fun. It allows you to play different types of games on the same map. So you could have a small 6v6 map, have 6v6, but also have a 12v12 playlist to make it even more hectic. I loved combat pacing in Vanguard. I still love it right now, but I would love to see it in a game I actually play often. So hopefully MW2 is that game. Let me know down below your opinions on that. Ranked play at launch, or at least a season 1, of course, very important. They always say they're going to do it, but it doesn't come out, or it comes out very late into the game. And tons of content modes at launch. So this is another worry of mine and others as well, since we're most likely going to get 2 years of DLC for this game in 2023 and 2024. Well, the thinking is that they may try to spread out that DLC and just give us little mini updates throughout those 2 years. And also, since they have to have all this DLC for the next 2 years, they might give us less content on launch to make up for all of the DLC they're going to have to release over the next couple of years. So that's a concern with all Call of Duties as well, honestly. Nowadays, we always look at the launch of the game and say, well, are we seeing less content because they're just saving the maps, weapons, etc. for DLC? Or did they literally not have time to make enough content for the launch of this game? We don't know for sure what goes on behind the scenes. Of course, I'm pretty sure they do intentionally save stuff for DLC. It's not necessarily a bad thing because, more content available to players at the launch of a game doesn't equal better content and good content. I mean, we saw this with Vanguard. Vanguard had a ton of MP maps at launch, but it doesn't mean the MP maps are fun to play, and it doesn't mean people will enjoy the game. It's more about the actual quality of the content they're producing. So as long as the content at the launch of MW2 is good, fun to play, that's what really matters here. And also, even if they are saving maps, weapons, modes, etc. for the DLC seasons of that game, as long as the time that they're saving by doing that is going towards more content in their games, or it's going towards actual good stuff, I'm fine with that. I mean, that's just how they allocate their time, and as long as what we're getting at launch is fine, it's not really that big of a deal to me. So let me know your opinions on that down below. Of course, we're gonna hope for the best here. I'm very confident they're gonna do a good job, but again, we don't know for sure, so we'll see very soon. Now, some more stuff. You guys commented on my recent videos on stuff you want to see from MW2. Be sure to continue to leave your comments down below on features, maps, weapons, modes, gameplay things you want to see in this game. I'll be sure to shout you guys out. Put the comment up on screen. This guy said this here: I'd like to see both MW3 weapons and maps brought to MW2. So I love this here. Of course, I'm an MW3 fanboy. I personally think that game is a more refined version of MW2. A lot of you guys might disagree with me there, and I get it. MW2 is a great game, but MW3, more specifically the multiplayer, had such good maps, weapons as well. I would love to see that implemented into the game. Of course, there was a leak that we would see some stuff from MW3 in this year's MW2 game. Obviously, for the most part, we're going to probably see more MW2 maps, weapons, and content because this game is literally called MW2, so that just makes sense there. But I still want to see a little MW3 love. So I appreciate, Shadow Chaos here giving some love to MW3. And also from Jimmy Jab, would love to see MW2 and MW3 level up and unlock sound effects and a fully finished survival mode. Oh my god. So first up here, the sound effects, the level up sound effects from those games. Oh my god, so good, so satisfying leveling up your weapons in those games, especially MW3. I have so many memories just hearing that noise and just feeling so good. I don't know what it is. Maybe I was a kid and it just hit different back then. But I think a lot of you guys would agree with me here. Those noises were fire, and there really isn't anything similar to that nowadays for Call of Duty. So I know it's a very minor feature. It really isn't that big of a deal, but it would be such a cool little added touch if they brought those OG sound effects, or at least very similar sound effects, back in MW2 this year. And of course, the survival mode thing, I completely agree with there. We played MW3 survival mode a month ago. I uploaded some videos to my Facebook gaming page. You got to a pretty decent high round on resistance. I mean, again, maybe it's partly nostalgia. I have so many memories playing survival mode. That's the first time I really played some type of third mode and really grinded it. Like, I played zombies back then, but first off, I was really into survival before I was ever really into zombies. So survival was so much fun for me. And again, MW 2019, they just messed it up and it didn't make any sense. So if they could bring the original MW3 survival mode back, obviously change some things around, but don't remove features. For, the survival mode in MW 2019, they just removed certain stuff. You couldn't play it on all different maps. It was just very weird how they did it. So if they could at least bring back the true essence, the base features of what MW3 survival mode was, maybe expand upon it, but don't change what made it great. That would be so sick to see. And hopefully it's not an exclusive mode and everyone is able to play and enjoy the mode. So that'll be that. Let me know down below your opinions on this game. Of course, I'll be sure to update you guys once we get more information on more MW2 teasers, marketing, the gameplay reveal, the full trailer, all that good stuff. I'll be sure to update you guys on this channel. Be sure to subscribe if you're new and enjoy the video. There are 2 other videos up on screen that may interest you, so be sure to check one of them out. Really do appreciate it, guys. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.